Hey friends, I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Whoop Wednesday. It's today Walksnail Goggles X Day. Walksnail announced the Goggles X today, which I was hoping would be the one goggle to end them all. And they look really good, but they're not the one goggle to end them all. The long and short of it is, I was hoping to replace analog goggles with them. And technically you can. There's a little analog port on them. But the latency is kind of crappy when you do that with analog. Maybe they can... Maybe somehow that can be fixed, changed, updated, whatever. I doubt it. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be great goggles for Walksnail. And so if you're interested in Walksnail, I think wait for those goggles for sure. And it looks like there's going to be some really cool future-proofing. They've done some future-proofing, and it looks like there's going to be some really cool stuff coming in the future for them, is what I meant to say. But I don't really think they're a great replace. I'll say this: they are as good of a replacement for analog goggles as a set of DJI goggles with the stupid analog adapter thing in the front, which is to say they're not a very good replacement for analog goggles. The one thing, not the one, but one of the main things that analog does, one of the main benefits to analog is the incredibly low latency. And if you run analog through the Goggles X, you basically get the same amount of latency that you get from DJI Vistas in the 30 or so millisecond range. So what's the point? I guess, you know, if you don't, I don't know. If you're just coming into the, here's where they're great. You're coming into the hobby, you pick Walksnail as your video platform, and then down the road you want to build an analog tiny whoop. You're good. You're up in the air. You're all set. But yeah, to those of us that have analog goggles, sacrificing that latency is kind of silly. It's tough though, because we could sell our analog goggles and get a couple $100. But yeah, I won't be getting them to use with analog. I will hopefully get them to use with 100 frame per second 1080, which is awesome. That they're gonna support that. It looks like they already are supporting that, which is kind of wild. And bigger field of view, 50-degree field of view, which is great. Apparently the optics are much better. And I think the glass is a little bit farther away from your eyeball, which is awesome. So yeah, they look like phenomenal goggles, but they're not they don't have the best of every single thing possible. They also don't have an analog DVR in them, so that sucks. Yeah. So, like, as analog goggles, I don't think that they make much sense. The analog functionality almost feels like kind of an afterthought, or maybe not. Maybe it's just, the digital technology handcuffs them, and there's only so much that you can do with analog. The VRX module is up on top, and it's set up to be very replaceable. So maybe a special VRX module will come out for it that's analog. I don't know. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm glad that they exist. But I really, really, really wish they could have somehow integrated analog a little bit better. But who really cares about analog at this point, right? Like, we're kind of a dying breed, unfortunately. Although maybe not. I don't know. With the tiny whoop stuff, it's pretty wild. We'll see. They seem to have made them they seem to have spent a lot of time trying to make them future-proof, which is a real good thing. Like, that's something that we don't see very much. So yeah, I have high hopes. I have high hopes that that someday they'll be the perfect goggle that somehow magically has analog that's low latency with good DVR. Everything else about him seems pretty good. But I actually haven't watched the end. I got like 2/3 of the way through Mads Tech's video, so I do have to watch the end of it. But that's the video that I watched, and it's got tons of good info in it, of course, because it's Mads Tech. So yeah, watch that one. I got the Axis C204 motors soldered up to the lightweight Cinesplore, and I don't have a scale anymore because it stopped working and I threw it in the trash. So I don't know what it weighs with these motors, but it should just be like 1.5 grams x 4 heavier. So 6-ish grams heavier. I think that's the right math. We will test hover it. I think I do not have a battery that's charged. Let me throw a battery on the charger because I'm a dum-dum. I knew there was something I was forgetting to do, and it was putting these batteries on the charger. I'm going to put these batteries on the HGLRC Thor parallel board, which is my new travel parallel board. I've given up my search for the white Lumineer 4-port Paragard because this HGLRC Thor 4-port seems good. It is not caught on fire yet, and I don't think HGLRC has made stuff that catches on fire in a while. So that's good. I like that. So yeah, I'll be able to stop harassing you guys for to ask your friends if they have that Lumineer 4-port Paragard. I think it was Metal Dirtskin that sent me this HGLRC Thor board, which was very, very, very cool of them. 4S, 6 amps, yeah, it's fine. 850 times 3, close enough. Charging at like 2.5C, it'll be fine. So yeah, that's cool stuff. I'm excited to put this up in the air. I really wanted to fly this yesterday, but there was a lot of family stuff going on, and I thought, you know what? My friends watched me build this and change the motors. Let's give them the opportunity to watch the first hover. Maybe it'll catch on fire and it'll be interesting, and everyone can laugh at me. That's fine. So yeah, should have a bunch of extra power, which is gonna be fun. Look at these cool medals that We Bleed FPV sent me. They sent me gold, silver, and bronze medals. They're heavy as hell, too. So what I'm going to do is a Tiny Whoop freestyle contest. A Tiny Whoop indoor freestyle contest. I'll post about it over on Discord, but I just thought this up last night. So I figured I would talk about it first. It's going to be 30 seconds. Editing is fine. Bring your best 30 seconds of indoor tiny whooping. I don't care what it's flown on. But yeah, cut it down. If you can do one big 30-second run, great. If you have to cut every 2 seconds, that's great too. You guys know me. I'm fine with cutting your footage up to show the best of your flying. I think that that's only fair. You know, this whole, like, just hit record and then fly for 3 minutes and expect people to watch it. It's like, well, you know, that's kind of... to me, like, FPV edits are just that. They're edits. They're not just push record, dump to YouTube, profit. So yeah, but if you can do that, if you can put together 30 seconds of indoor flying that are absolutely mind-blowing with no cuts, more power to you. It's not you might get a couple extra points for that, but probably not, to be honest. If somebody comes through and has better flying and it's all edited up, they're gonna win. It's completely it's just, you know, there's no, like, the judging is just me. I'm just gonna pick the one that I think is the best. There's no, like, point scale. There's no, like, make sure it's not racing, make sure it's freestyle. Like, I don't care if it's racing and it's gnarly, it's not gonna win. I don't like racing. You guys know me. I like freestyle. It's a freestyle competition. I don't know if it's Min Chan Kim that submits something on a 65 ripping indoor and it's more racy, he'll probably win, but he won't submit anything, so you're safe. But yeah, 30 seconds. I'll do like an official thing about it, but I just wanted to give whoever's here right now the heads up. So yeah, gotta be indoor flying. I don't care where indoor is. If indoor is a football stadium, that's fine. But There has to be a roof over your head. This way, the FAA doesn't throw you in the clink. Cool. What are we doing tonight? Tonight we are going to take we were talking about this on Monday's stream. The Acrobee 65. Acrobee BLV4 65 build that we put together here and flew Monday and compared it to the hummingbird. I really couldn't. I couldn't find anything that this Acrobee board did better, and it is a little bit heavier than the hummingbird board, so it doesn't really make sense to have it. It doesn't really make much sense to have both the hummingbird and this Acrobee BLV4. And I would like to take this frame. This is one of the new Cockroach V3 frames. And I would like to put this frame on something else, basically on an Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop, so that we can compare it to the Meteor 65 airframe. So the first part of that is going to be, I don't just want to tear it apart. I want to put this into something. So I've got a extra Mobula 7 V4 frame here. At the moment, it has these Flywoo 1002 23,500kv motors. I have tried these motors. They're okay. They're better for like lifting up a heavier payload. So these motors are going to be better suited with a Walksnail setup that's adding 6 extra grams. So I'm going to pull these motors off of here, and I've got 2 sets of the hummingbird. So on my V3 hummingbird, I've set it up to be as light as possible. It's basically fully upgraded at this point. It's got the new Cockroach V3 frame. It's got the Newbie Drone 0702 29,000kv motors, which are lighter and higher kV than the Hummingbird motors, which are 0802 25,000. It's BT 2.0, and I think that's about it. So it's pretty much fully upgraded. I've now got 2 sets of these Hummingbird 0802 25,000s, so I might as well use them, and 0802 25,000s are awesome on 75mm builds. So we've got a home for these, and I've got 8 of these motors, so even though they're the 1mm motor shaft, which is going to bend, I got a whole bunch of replacements, and they plug right in to the Acrobee board. So this will be kind of cool to have another Jungle Gym basher, and we'll get to see, like, hey, if you buy an Acrobee BLV4, does it make a good Jungle Gym basher? Yeah, it will. But let's just do it anyway. So I'm gonna start. I need this frame. So I'm gonna start pulling these motors off this frame. These motors will probably wind up on a 75mm 75mm, what's it called? Fractal build. Or maybe even a 45mm prop fractal build. But no, that's not going to happen anytime soon, to be completely honest. It's just a, it sounds terrible, but that kind of a build is sort of low priority. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's just not a build that I think is going to really do anything all that much better. It's basically a build that's like, people want to see it. I maintain that 75mm motor to motor with the 40mm props, or whatever the hell they are, 1.6 inch, is the way to go. The continuing to go bigger and bigger and bigger, to me, doesn't really make much sense. I think 75mm motor to motor is the right number. But I know that everybody always wants to see all the reviewers try everything new. So yeah, eventually maybe we'll do that. But for the time being, these motors are just gonna kind of hang out. The thought process there of these motors being the best possible fit for that, and that'll be a Walksnail build, is that these motors are have a bigger can, so they're a bigger heat sink, so they're going to shed heat much better. And there is going to be more heat because that's going to be a heavy build. The fractal frame is heavier than just doing a plastic frame, and it'll be a Walksnail build, so it'll also have the extra 6 grams of Walksnail to kind of deal with. So yeah, that build is where I think these motors make the most sense. We'll find out once we do it. And the 45. What are those? What are the new propellers? They're 45, right? I think the slightly bigger size. Hey, I forgot about the chat. What's up, friends? It's good though. Let some people pour in. Curtis Hayes, Matt Trombley, Ram Donko, Frank Nicholas, Gert Jan, Curtis Hayes again, Troy Prelog, Freelojo, Bob Bruce, TBD, CiottiFPV, Freelojo, Mr. Hugly, Douglas Otwell, Mr. Huggy rather, Mr. Dud, Don Gonzalez, Travis H again, Ram Donko again, Freelojo, Super Deluxe is in the house. What's up, homie? Squirrely, Mr. Huggy, Freelojo. Looks like some spirited conversations happening already in the chat. Ugh. Curtis Hayes, Ram Donko, Don Gonzalez, Charles Marseille. I think I got everybody. What's up, friends? Flush FPV. Thanks for coming. Let's do some tiny whoop things. This is my full-time job. If you like these live streams and you would like to see them continue, it's on you. I can't do anything about it. Now, head on over to CiottiFPV.com. There's a million ways you can support me. Click the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment if you're not watching this live. But yeah, the best thing you could possibly do is head over to CiottiFPV.com and join the Patreon. It'll only cost you a few dollars a month. You'll get a ton of benefits. There's also a whole bunch of affiliate links. Just for the most part, like if you're ordering something on the internet, you should be using someone's affiliate link. It doesn't take long, and it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll allow that person to keep doing what they do and making cool stuff for you to watch on the internet. So do it, yo. Do it. Always use an affiliate link from someone. If it's not one of mine, that's fine. Just support your buddies that are trying to make a living out of doing the YouTube thing. Because it's hard, man. It's hard. It's weird. It's a weird job to have. But by doing it full time, we can do a much better job at it. You know what I mean? Like, going to a real job for 8 hours a day and then coming home and trying to maintain some sort of a healthy family life and then also having FPV is almost impossible. I don't know how anyone does it. My guess is that the family life kind of suffers. But there are people that do not struggle their asses off with mental illness that are able to work really, really, really hard all day, every day. And I am very jealous of that. That is unfortunately not me, though. I have to manage my mental health all day, every day. But it's better than the alternative, which is going crazy. So yeah. It's a real thing, yo. It's a real thing. So help your buddy out. Help the gangliest of all the ganglies out. And click some buttons over on my website. There's an Etsy store where you can buy yourself some cool stuff. I've got a couple of newer stickers for anybody that wants the newest, freshest, hottest thing. They're not even on Etsy yet. There's actually a couple stickers that are on Etsy. I gotta get my ass in gear with my Etsy store. This is one of them. It's a sparkly holographic Gangly Gang sticker. There's also a Apple-themed CiottiFPV sticker. It's got the Apple stripes on it. There's even a sticker sheet if you want 5 stickers. If you want some stickers, shoot me a message. Tell me which ones you want, and I will hook you up. But just to kind of show you a couple that are available, this is actually a window cling, so you won't get nasty, ugly sticker residue all over the place. Old school, fully holographic gangly gang. The new school CiottiFPV logo in holographic red. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. These are sticker packs here. If you want a sticker pack, let me know. Gangly Gang in matte. Old school CiottiFPV in small holographic. The new logo in matte. There should be a whole bunch more stickers in this little pile. Where the hell did they go? Bueller? Okay, that's weird. There's also... Here it is. Special edition. If you're into old school Apple stuff, this is the one that you want. Those are the old school Apple colors. Hard to pick it up on camera, but in real life you can really see it. So yeah, those are some of the new stickers. There's also a Kill All Carbon sticker that's pretty fun and holographic, referencing like Hoonigan, basically. So yeah, that one is up on the Etsy store. You can go over there and check it out. Cool. Do it! And I'll keep doing this. Motors are on! Mobula 7 V4 frame is ready to go. What's happening in chat, my friends? If you want to talk to me in the chat, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange for me like this, and I will read your chat comment. If you don't do that, like Bob Bruce here, I won't read your comment. So you can talk all the shit that you want about me, and I will have no idea. Free Lojo says, hello, Ciotti, the gangly man directing his gangly clan or gang. TBD says, you have single-handedly fueled an intense addiction to tiny whoops. You're welcome, TBD. It's being horrendously addicted to tiny whoops, I do not feel bad about. You can fly them in the house. You can't hurt a fly. You can't get harassed by the FAA. It's about as good as it gets in terms of FPV as far as I'm concerned. You know, 5-inch rigs and 3-inch rigs and stuff like that outside. You know, another great thing to get addicted to. But good lord, tiny whoops. Yeah, if you really latch on to one part of FPV, and that's tiny whoops, that's pretty hot. We're gonna be flying this, so I'm gonna build this thing and we're gonna fly it, and I'm gonna be flying it on these awesome little Emax 300 mAh batteries. I have 6 of these for sale. 2 of them still have the GNB 27 connectors on them. The other 4 I've converted over to BT 2.0 for you. What I would recommend is that you maybe convert these 2 over to A30. Or just leave them GNB 27 in case you have a rig that needs GNB 27. But yeah, I've got 6 of these batteries for sale. These are Quad 66 tips me off about these. These are made by GNB, and these cells are his favorites in the last like couple of years. He was really singing these batteries praises. I figured out that, so GNB stopped making them, but I figured out that GNB probably white labels for Emax, and sure enough, these are them. So they're an awesome battery. I was blown away when I started flying them. I just don't want another set of batteries. I've got a foam piece from many years ago that adapts the wider 75mm battery bay to work with the skinny batteries, the regular batteries. So that's what I'm going to be using. But for those of you that don't have one of those little foam pieces, yeah, these batteries are the answer to keeping the weight down on a 75mm rig, but still having a battery that has awesome discharge rate. The beeping is going to drive me absolutely insane, so let me take care of this real quick over here, and alright, we good. So we've got some 4S 850s that are ready to go on the lightweight Cinesplore. Should we test hover that first to get it out of the way? No, let's get caught up on chat first. While I'm getting caught up on chat, I can just keep unscrewing things from this rig, because I need to like unscrew all the motors. I need to pull all the motors off and pull the AIO out. I mean, technically I don't need to pull the motors off, but I'm gonna anyway because I want to use this frame for an ultimate freestyle tiny whoop. So yeah, I'll just keep unscrewing screws while I get caught up on chat here. Bob Bruce says, what's up, everyone? CMYK says, yo, what's up, Gangly Gang? It's CiottiFPV. Gert Jan says, nice to meet again. Can you recommend a 20x20 stack? So I have not bought... I mean, I've really never bought a stack. I've only ever bought like separate ESCs and separate flight controllers. I have not bought a separate ESC or a flight controller in a few years, believe it or not. And so it's really difficult for me to recommend electronic components at the moment, just because I was able to find some stuff that was really reliable. And, you know, I don't get stuff sent to me for free, so it seems kind of silly to tear rigs apart that are working totally fine just to put the newest and best, in air quotes, flight controller on it that's going to fly exactly the same, if not worse, because the gyros have kind of gotten worse over the years. The MPU 6000, in my opinion, is still the best gyro that has ever been made for FPV. And so, yeah, at the moment, I don't have any experience with any of the electronics that are currently sold. Literally everything that I fly 20x20 wise is now discontinued. I have heard that the SpeedyBee 20x20 stack is the way to go. It is meant for... So, Jen, I've no idea what this 20x20 stack is for. I don't know if it's for a 2-inch rig or a 20-inch rig. So that, you know, take this recommendation with a grain of salt. But the SpeedyBee 20x20 stack is meant for 5-inch rigs. So if you're looking for one for a 5-inch rig, it maybe is the right one. If you're looking for a stack for something smaller than that, then you're just going to have something that's kind of over-spec'd. And that's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I can't... it's tough to just blanket recommend a stack without like knowing what the quad is. But like I said, I don't know any of the current electronics anyway. So the real strong point of the SpeedyBee stack is going to be the price. The price is a little scary to me, to be honest. I just don't understand how they're doing it so cheap. One of the ways is definitely that it's an F4 processor rather than an F7. So down the road, there is going to be a version of Betaflight that won't run on that stack just because the F4 processor is a little bit old school and sort of out of date. But that, you know, Betaflight 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 are all like phenomenal. So the improvement, the actual real life flight performance improvements that have come since Betaflight 4.2 have been pretty benign. So like if you're stuck on Betaflight 4.2, 4.3 forever, you're going to be all right. Your rigs are going to fly great. And you're not going to and you're going to be able to like just go fly instead of constantly worrying about if your flight firmware is holding you back. So not a terrible thing, not a terrible problem to have, if you know what I mean. All that being said, if you want to stay future-proof, anything from T-Motor has been really getting great reviews, and I've personally had good luck with some T-Motor stuff. Some of their stuff, like their more expensive line, seems to be made by Acon, which is a huge plus. Anything made by Acon is going to be amazing. So, yeah, I would stick with T-Motor, or if you want to save some money, SpeedyBee, and you should be good to go. But again, that is a pretty blind recommendation. I have no idea what rig you're putting them on. I had pretty much no info to go off of. But yeah, I don't know any of the new stuff. It's very frustrating. The past couple of years, they make a new product and they sell it for like 6 months, which is just about enough time for people to get a hold of it and put it into builds and start flying batteries with it, and then they discontinue it. And so like we don't get much of an opportunity to know if stuff is actually good. Like we know if stuff flies right out of the box, like if it catches on fire right out of the box, like we can figure that out, but we don't know if any of this stuff is actually durable because these manufacturers discontinue stuff so frequently, which is super annoying for those of us trying to find parts that are durable. Like that durability is the most important thing for me when it comes to the electronics that we run, because I'm a cheap bastard and I want my stuff to work. Like I don't want my shit to fall out of the sky after 100 batteries. I want it to work really like kind of forever. Forever is unrealistic because we slam these things so hard, but yeah, in FPV our components have a tendency to a lot of the stuff that gets made doesn't really seem to get QC'd at all. Like we tend to be the QC process, and that's rough, and that, you know, it's very annoying that we have to do that. God damn it, I can't get this I cannot get this AIO to sit in this frame without the fucking grommets falling off. Come on, god damn it. Get in there. It's almost like this. It's fine. Don't freak out. It's almost like this. Okay, I can't. You fucker. Okay, it's fine. 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 It's gonna be okay. Put the grommets back on the AIO for the 50th fucking time and just try again. Just keep trying. Just try over and over and over again, and eventually FPV will make some semblance of sense. The way that all of these things pieced together will someday make some sense. There are certain things in this hobby that are maddening on a level I've never experienced. I really haven't. And, like, photography is not super frustrating, but it can be very frustrating. Motorsports can... You fucker! It's fine. Mr. Huggy says, hello all. Travis H says, evening. Ram Donko says, I get emails from Twitter. Who the FC is that? What? The other amazing thing about the Goggles X that somebody's comment just reminded me of is that they have HDMI in and out. So that is awesome. I swear to God, if they do not give us a clean video output without OSD on these goggles, it's more of a firmware thing, I'm going to light the building on fire. Walksnail is an incredible system. So many amazing things about it. And it could be, yeah, it has the potential to be like the system, but without a clean video out, it will never be the system for any professionals. And I don't know why the hell they would ignore that market, because that's where a lot of the really good content comes from. So I don't understand why it doesn't already have clean video output, it doesn't seem too insane to just remove the OSD elements, but I don't know, maybe there's some technical limitation that that I'm unaware of. But yeah, they really okay, I can't do this with anything attached, so I'm gonna have to detach all of the things from this and really focus on pushing a fucking AIO down onto 4 plastic posts on a frame. Like, I'm gonna have to really concentrate on doing this incredibly mundane, stupid ass, insane, ridiculous, awful, dumb little task. So, you know, there's that. We put the grommets on. We put the grommets on the outside of the AIO. Here, you guys can do this with me. You guys can suffer with me. Here we go. Here we go. This is really high stress stuff. This is really difficult. We need to really focus here to be able to push a PCB down onto a plastic frame with 4 stupid little pieces of rubber bastard on it. Let's really concentrate here. Let's just stop everything, and we're gonna really focus on what's important. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna put it, we gotta do 2 at a time, because otherwise it's never gonna work. Okay. Here we go. It's not gonna work again. Ready? Okay, it worked that time. The problem was the canopy was in the way. Man, this thing sits down. This thing sits down far in this frame. Are these motor plugs gonna reach? Oh my god, just barely. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. All I had to do was take the canopy off. With the canopy on there, I was unable to put my fingers on all 4 grommets. What was happening is the grommets were popping out. So by putting your fingers on all 4 grommets and pushing down evenly, it doesn't give any of the grommets the opportunity to like pop off. But it's really important to scream and yell like an asshole first, because, you know, we're men, and that's what men do. We look like idiots because we are idiots. So make sure that you do that. That's a real requirement as a male to be an actual crazy person and to freak everyone out around you. Don't do that. Try not to do that. You're gonna do it anyway because of the society that we live in. Ooh, now we're gonna get to fight with the goddamn screws. That's gonna make me scream some more. Hey, no, we got it. Sometimes working on tiny whoops is like pulling your fingernails out with pliers. Let's just get that out of the way. Sometimes it's not that bad, but sometimes it is that bad, and it just makes me want to quit life. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of shrimp wrap on this little ELRS antenna jibby jabby, because it just looks like it's trying to kill itself. It really looks like it has no will to live, and it's gonna try to break off it's gonna try to rip the little apex off there. In order to do that, I'm gonna take a tiny little piece of shrink wrap and I'm gonna stretch it out with pliers. Just a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to slide it over. Well, actually, it's an antenna, so I can slide it down. I can slide it down the antenna bit. That's twice that I've dropped it. If I drop it a 3rd time, I'm going to piss my pants. Good. I don't want to have to pee my pants. It's embarrassing to do that live. Okay, so we got a little piece of shrimp wrap on there. Let's shrimp it down. All right, it's all shrimped down. We good. Ah! So this little guy plugs in here. Curtis Hayes says, do you grind your props on the ducts like FPV Cycle recommends / requires? I do not, because the ducts that I run don't have that issue. Although every once in a while that happens. Where are you seeing that though? That's like old school info. That's like back in the squirt days that was like the deal. I don't know of any current Cinewoop frames that require you to do that. Basically, in the grand scheme of things, they realized that that whole pain in the ass didn't really get you any extra thrust or efficiency. In order to actually gain... So the effect that they're going for there is basically trying to separate the high and low pressure zones. High pressure below the propeller blades, low pressure zones above the propeller blades. And so, why does this fit so incredibly loose? This UFL needs a little bit of love, I think. If you put a UFL plug on and it's like really loose, just super gently take some pliers and just crimp the little metal collar part down a little bit, and then you won't have that problem anymore. Yeah, so that's like an old school thing that we initially thought was a good idea, but it didn't really accomplish anything, and it becomes a pain in the ass. Like when I talked to so many folks that have used the Squirt and all of the other Squirt variants for professional work, and they just like they used to be so frustrated. They've all pretty much moved on from that frame, but they were so frustrated by like getting to it. Like they would put their flight bag in like the overhead compartment, and then somebody would put their bag next to it, and it would push on the TPU squirt ducts, and they would go out of round. And so they would get on set and the propellers wouldn't spin at all, and they would have to sit there and try to re-round out the ducts. And it's just yeah, kind of a nightmare. What I run are the, I think now discontinued, very unfortunately, Stan FPV Cinesplore ducts that were poured by HQ. So they are hysterically durable because they're made of, propeller plastic, which is just amazing. And then no, and then that's it. Those are the ducts that I run. You guys remember No and Then? I've actually not seen that movie. I've not seen that movie all the way through, just because it seemed a little bit too dumb. Like I don't get me wrong, I like dumb movies, but there's a limit to the dumbness. And Dude, Where's My Car? I just thought was beyond that limit of stupidity. So I never watched the whole thing. But, that scene is like our youth. Our youth? What were we, in our 20s when that movie came out, I think? Dude, Where's My Car? What a little piece of history that our generation will never live down. As well we shouldn't, You make your bed, you sleep in it. You come out with a movie like that, and you get all excited about it, you're in for a tough life. That doesn't make any sense. Yo, we are almost good. Look at me go. More chat things. Ramdoggo says, all that being said, Curtis Hayes, every once in a while, for whatever reason, I feel like maybe I don't know, but if you put propellers onto a Cinewoop that are scraping the ducts, or if this happens on a tiny whoop, just put it into turtle mode, and fire the props up in turtle mode. When you're flying normally, the propeller blades all bend upwards a little bit. This is the hub. This is the end of the propeller. When you're flying normally, they bend up a little bit because they're producing downward thrust, right? So in turtle mode, they push themselves down a little bit, and most ducts are angled in like this. So turtle mode is the way to wear your props in a little bit, so that they're not scraping on the ducts themselves. The other problem with the props being so close to the ducts that they touch them, is that every time they do touch them, they're gonna put all kinds of weird vibrations into the quad, and those are gonna get to the gyro, and the gyro is gonna go, "What the fuck is that about?" And your PID loop is gonna freak out. So yeah, not usually a great idea to have that. I know the philosophy is to get the tip of the propeller like a fraction of a millimeter away from the duct, but that is just kind of unrealistic because we crash, because there's just a million reasons that it's kind of unrealistic to get that perfectly set up. So yeah, on pretty much all the rigs nowadays, you get that gap as small as possible within reason, and you just don't even think about it, and you put a power train on the rig that has enough power to pick up the camera, and you just focus on flying, which is cool. Ramdongo says, where is the bind button in Betaflight? On some versions of Betaflight, it's in the receiver tab. Sometime on older versions of Betaflight, though, it's only in the CLI. And I think it's like BND_RX, maybe? Although they changed it. Different versions of Betaflight, that command is called different things. So definitely don't quote me on that CLI command because it depends on the version. Yo! While I've been doing chat, I managed to get this all done. I just need to plug the motors in. Look at that. What do you think of that? That'll save us a little bit of time. Free Lojo dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. Safe Zone FPV says, what's up? What's good, my FPV peeps? CMYK dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Safe Zone FPV says, was good. Gert Jan says, very cool stickers. What will a set of stickers cost, or do I have to check the website? Just message me. Let me know which stickers you want, and I'll tell you what it is. They're basically $5 each. But if you get a whole bunch of them, I'll hook you up. Like if you get a sticker pack, there'll be a little discount in there. So just message me. Let me know which stickers you want, and I'll give you a good deal. I promise. Or if you want these batteries, yeah, there's some stuff for sale. I've got 9mm by 15mm LED race wires for. That's the only length that'll fit on a Cinesplore here or on a lot of 3-inch rigs. I have them in pink and green. And then I've got a bunch of McStinky mounts that have been 3D printed by you beautiful people. So yeah, there's some stuff for sale. I've got an Axis box for DJI. If you want to get your DJI footage onto a monitor, the Axis box is a way to do that for not $800 for the smart controller. Not 03, old school Vista DJI. Look at that, man. Goober canopy fits really well. Everything slaps right in there. I wish I could weigh it. I need to find a scale. Does anybody know anything about scales? Does anybody know like a good $20 scale on Amazon by chance? I can't imagine that you guys are also scale experts. And these motors will not reach. I should say these motor leads will not reach. Goddamn bastard, you. Let me try untwisting them, although I have them barely twisted up and they won't reach, which is not a good sign. You know, what's funny about this is Newbie Drone, I usually... I'm usually a little bit frustrated by Newbie Drone putting too much too much motor wire on their motors. Oh! Okay. What a kick in the jimmies. I mean, these motors are meant for the Hummingbird, which is a 65mm rig. Ugh! No! Damn it! Why can't they just be a little bit longer? They're like nothing too short. They're just an inconceivably small amount too short. Hold on. I'm trying to route them differently. I had them routed around the bottom piece. Now maybe I can. Oh my god, they're just like nothing too short. They're basically like 1mm too short. Like if I pull really hard on them, they'll plug in, but then the motor wires will rip off, like with those 802 30,000s last week. The reason that they're too short is the Mobula 7 V4 frame. Look at how the motor bolt holes are, and then look where the wire path is. So these motor mount holes are like 33 degrees. Is that right? 30 degrees wrong. And it makes the motor leads come out not, see it? Like not towards where they're plugging in. See that like terrible angle that's at? Most frames will rotate these motor screws here so that you've got, wow, Logitech, you're really just full of fail. So that there's like the gaps in between these screws is usually where the screws go. But not on the Mobula 7 V4 frame. No, no, no. To make the frame a little bit stronger, they rotated the holes 30 degrees, 60 degrees maybe. And so that makes the wire run longer. So what I need to do is take these motors off and solder on longer motor leads. No. No. I don't wanna. God damn you. I need to take a break from this, and so we will test hover this, and I swear to Christ, if it doesn't hover, we won't even... that's not even an option. It's not even an option for it to not work. So on this rig, I've had problems in the past with other motors. I've had these Brother Hobby VYs on this rig for a long time. And I've tried the regular Axis 2004s on it. and they just oscillated like crazy to the moon, and I just could not figure out how to get them under control. And I'm afraid that I might have that same problem with these, but we're going to find out. And so, yeah, there's a chance this thing will just oscillate up into the ceiling and punch a Cinesplore-sized hole in a ceiling tile. But I'll try to disarm it before that happens. Try my best. No promises. You're going to get a little bit of crossfire buzz. No, you're not, because I'm now on a different microphone. That's amazing. Can you... Batteries. 700 mAh GNB 4S. I don't make this battery anymore. Kind of makes me sad. Wonder if there's a problem with it, though. I'm not going to put a... I'm going to put the GoPro in it. Because... the hover throttle point with the GoPro in it is all I care about. I don't care about this thing without a GoPro in it. I'm never going to fly this without a GoPro in it. Not never, but yeah. So if it's going to do weird oscillation things at the hover throttle point with the GoPro in it, that's what I need to know. So it just makes no sense to put this thing up in the air without it. All right, and I've already put this through Betaflight and gotten the propellers spinning in the correct direction. And shit, this rig is analog, so I can do this, which is kind of cool. All right, let's see. Man, there's some video noise. What the hell's going on there? Nope, there it is. Yep, they're winding up and oscillating. God damn it. And they're probably going to be really hot. No, they're not. Well, that's pretty cool. They don't feel like they have an awful lot of power. Teddy, you got to go, brother. This is not a play with doggy kind of rig. Sorry, buddy. I need to figure out what the noise situation is with this rig. It looks really kind of ugly. Go, buddy. Go, go, go. Here. Go away. You got to go, buddy. I'm sorry. Wow, he is not afraid of it. What do the amp numbers look like? Did you guys see any crazy amp numbers? 50 amps max current, it looks like. That's a lot, but it's not too bad. Motors are a little bit hot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bug Brandon's Baked Beans a little bit, I think, for some help with the tune on this, because something ain't quite right. It's getting super upset sitting on the ground. And yeah, these Cinewhoops, like, you want to have enough PID gain to really control the damn thing. They just have such a tough aerodynamic kind of situation to deal with, that you do want to get the PID tune cranked up to some pretty serious values. All right. Damn, I was hoping that it would just sort of work. Although, what I will say is, when it was on the Brother Hobby VYs, I did notice that at idle, sitting on the ground, it was a little bit angry. So there's something going on, but it's way more angry now. And it's actually too angry right now. Like, leaving it idle on the ground, it's oscillating to the point where it's going to cook the motors if I don't, like, take it off right away or disarm it. So yeah, that's not a realistic place for it to kind of be in. You can get away with that and you can fly it around with that, right? Just like take it off right away, but it's not a good state for it to kind of stay in long term. So that's something I got to deal with. All right, so there's that. Teddy Spaghetti, what are you doing? What do you want from me, dog? What do you want? Teddy, what do you want? What is your current deal? What would you like from me right now? What can I do to make those eyebrows a little bit less insane? What do you want? You just keep running away? You want to just keep running away from the camera? You can eat my shoes now? Please don't. He's been good about not eating shoes. That's about all he doesn't eat. He eats the rugs in the house. He's gone. All right. Oh, he popped up again. I just saw his little head pop up. Don't eat stuff over there, please. So there you go. There's the Axis C204 3500kv first hover. Yeah, it needs a little bit of love. There's something going on there. So I'll do a proper log. I'll take it outside and log it. Actually, you know what? It was logging that whole time. Now that I look at where my switch position was. So, Brandon, are you in the chat? Brandon's not in the chat. Okay. He's safe from being put on the spot. All right, let me get caught up on chat here. What do you? Okay, he's taking his raccoon. He's like, "You're not gonna play with me. I'm gonna take it to mommy." Metaritson says, "Would you consider doing a UWL Whoop build on stream? Even if you don't race, it might be a good meme build to get some folks to watch." I don't know what UWL is. UWL. I'm literally Googling it. UWL Whoop. Underground Whoop League. Probably not. I've done so many Tiny Whoop builds, and they're all pretty much the same thing. That yeah, I don't want to like. I don't know, I try to not like take advantage and just do stuff for views. Like I try to do stuff that has value. Yeah, I mean I've built almost exactly this. Betaflight Meteor 751S. Wow. Can you only run bind and flies? Oh, okay. No. They let you do. Okay, wow. There's a lot of info on this website. Very cool. I mean, it looks like all the info needed is kind of here. So this is what I was really curious about. Like, what's the motor situation? Motors used must be 802. As long as you meet that requirement, run whatever you want. So KV is free. Interesting. Huh. Very cool. Man, they've got a lot of really good info on here. This is great. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I've done pretty much this build. I've used all these same parts before. That's pretty cool. You can do the 75 mil stuff, or you can do an HD0 65 mil. The weight of the HD0 will put this 65 millimeter rig up to the weight of these 75s. That's a really cool idea. And then there's the 75 millimeter version of it. That's really slick. That's really, really smart to do that. Neat. Ramdago says only an 85X makes everyone Hulk mad. Yeah, the 85s, man. Everybody's breaking their 85s. Gauge Stays Fly says Amen on the frustrations was gonna catch up in a while. Bet to rip a couple packs before dark. Nice. Middleton says, I'm over here laughing because of the sheer number of times I've done exactly that. Mr. Huggy says, here's a hint, put the grommets on the frame, then push the AIO in so the grommets hold it. You know, I've tried that, and what that ends up doing is cutting the rubber grommets, and then once, and you don't see that they're cut, but you've then got an AIO that's like hard mounted because it's pushing into the plastic since the rubber's been cut. So I actually don't recommend doing that, especially on AIOs that have like really sharp cut edges, of which the Newbie drone is one. Like the edges of the Newbie drone PCB where the grommets fit in are very, very sharp. So if you try to like force it in like that, yeah, I've had it cut. I've had that situation a bunch of times actually. I always check the grommets and squeeze them a little bit to make sure they're not cut. Safe Zone says, we had to be there. Bob Bruce says, you should have heard me trying to reach an O2 sensor in a Z28. What? Hello? Okay. There's a strange noise that came from upstairs. I had to get up from under, lean in the engine bay, give me a good scream. Didn't help any, but it does too help. It does help. O2 sensors are always the goddamn worst. SafeZone says, where do we message you for some McStinky canopies? Facebook or Instagram or email or Patreon or YouTube comment, whatever you want. CiottiFPV.com has all my contact info. I use Instagram the most. So Instagram's your best bet for getting a quick answer from me. Nick J says, the scale I use for tiny whoops is Amazon number blah blah blah. Can't place the full link. Is that like a good scale, Nick, or is that just the scale that you bought? I'm hoping, yeah. If it's just the one that you happen to buy, there's nothing wrong with that. But if somebody like did some research on scales, and or just knows scales, yeah, that's what I would love to have some feedback on. What? He's been running around. Sitting there. I've had him on camera. He's being a bad boy, but he's a good boy. Look, the whole family's down here. Look, there's an Azalea. Maggie's over here getting drunk somewhere.
Teddy, come here. Come here.
Can't quite see her. Where is he? There he is.
Right there.
There he goes.
I'm gonna put him on the camera. Oh my god. Stop it.
Here he comes. Bad boy, bad boy. Look at him.
Come here. Alright. Let's take him upstairs.
Teddy and Azalea's runaround routine is something else. Azalea screams bloody murder. Teddy chases, and then he gets all crazy and he starts growling. It's really absurd.
Alright, both of you upstairs. Let him stream. Come on. Let's go. Is it run upstairs and then he will follow you. Come on. Up you go. Run. Get upstairs.
He says, run upstairs and he'll follow you. There it is. There it is. Ramdonko says, lap pilot equals Biggles. Not sure what that means. Dub Squared says Underground Whoop League. Middle Distance says it's like spec racing / street league for whoops. KV is limited to 19,000. Interesting. McBucas says, thanks for saving us the trouble of trying to put those motors on a 75mm rig. That's why we watch. Yeah. I can't believe I now have to switch these motor leads out. Here's what I'll say. Okay, so this is not the frame to use. So if you use... Here we go. I hope that at some point here, Newbie Drone is going to put out a version of their Cockroach 75 frame that uses this new softer plastic. And if/when they do that, I'll betcha that these motors will work. And that's kind of cool too anyway, because it means that you can do like an all Newbie Drone build. Let me show you what I mean about the way the motors mount. So look at the bolt, look at where the screws are, right? Their orientation and how that makes the motor lead go like not towards the plug that it needs to be plugged in, right? It has to turn like 90 degrees almost. And now look at every single other 75mm frame. See how the two bolt holes face the center? So the wires will exit exactly like this for a straight shot to where they're going. But the current plastic that this Cockroach 75 frame is made of is like the slightly more brittle plastic, and I've not had great luck with these in terms of durability. So for a jungle gym basher, I would definitely not recommend the current Cockroach 75 frame. But if they change the plastic to this V3 Cockroach 65 plastic, then I love the geometry of this frame, and I love the way that the supports are set up. And so, yeah, this frame in the newer plastic would, I think, be the jam for this build. But this build in the Mobula 7 V4 frame doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to have to find longer Newbie Drone leads and solder them individually onto each motor. That's just banana pants. That's just a bit much. So, yeah. I cannot really recommend doing that. Let me try something. Maybe the motors with the black leads on them have a little bit more wire length. You never know, man. I do have 4 of these motors. So, like, potentially I could run the... Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Well, maybe. Maybe. Nope. They have, like, exactly not enough wire length. Like, I shit you not, if it was, like, 1 millimeter longer, it would be fine. But it's not. It's not 1 millimeter longer. It, like, look at it. Look how close it is, but not quite. See? And, like, I can kind of force it, but it's then going to, the wire leads are going to be, like, just pulled tight. And then when I start crashing it, it's going to rip the wire leads off the motors. Or out of the plug. I doubt it'll rip them out of the plug, but it'll rip them out of the motors. Man, this just throws my whole... What other tiny whoop frames are available? I think it's just the Meteor 75. These are all 65. The fractal frame might work, maybe. But, I don't know, I'm not super into it. So this is the current Cockroach 75 frame. If you're not going to crash much, then this might work. So here's the Meteor 75 frame. I think this is the only other option. And it's actually really important to look at where the holes are on this before I say, like, yeah, this frame will work. They do this weird shit with the mounting holes where they set it up to work with either 4 or 3. See, so this might not work either, because for a 3-bolt motor, you're going to use this hole here, and then you're going to use the bottoms of these holes. So the motor leads are going to go in this direction, and then you're going to have to turn them. So they're going to have to make that... They're going to have to make that same, like, really hard turn. So the motor plugs are basically right here. They sit, like, right here. So it's going to have to make a hard 90-degree turn. On the Meteor 7 frame, yeah, no, this ain't going to work. Because, so this is that... This is the same orientation, almost the same orientation as the Mobula 7 frame. So the Cockroach frame is the only one that'll work with these motors with the short leads on them. This is the only option to do it plug and play. Oh boy. This is a uniquely... it just... like every single other newbie drone motor has had leads that are too long. And so it's like a bad joke that the first time there's a set of newbie drone motors where the leads aren't too long is the one set of newbie drone motors that I want to do this with, where I need the leads to be a little bit longer. Like that's just one of those, like, figures kind of moments. Like, for example, the lead length, like, look at this. Look at the length of the leads on these 0702s. Like, an 0702 motor that is never going to get put on a big frame, right? So it's like the one motor that absolutely does not need the extra long leads on it, but it's got the extra long leads. So actually, what I should do is swap the motor leads between these 0702s and these 0802s. Because, yeah, look at it. It's hard to really see the difference. They're not lining up properly, but yeah, it's much longer. The 702, there you go. There you can kind of see it. That's all the extra that I need. And that 702 lead is having to go up farther, and the wires are more twisted up. 7:28 p.m., huh? Well, I got to take these motors out of here anyway. So, oh boy. I really want to use these motors. Like an 0802 25,000 kV motor is completely fine on a 65mm rig, but not for me. Like, for me, that is nowhere near enough motor for a 65. So I'm never going to use these motors on... I'm never going to use these Hummingbird motors with these short leads, right? Is anybody desperate for a set of 0802 25,000s with the newbie drone plugs on them before I do an incredibly frustrating soldering job? I have to do 8 of these things. What's 8 times 3? 8, 16, 24. 24 different motor plugs. 30 gauge motor wires, I should say. Ugh. 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 Come on. Like, for real? For real, for real? I mean, I want to do this. I really want to do this, but boy, oh boy. Ramdago says lap pilot equals Biggles. In reference to his previous comment where he said, I don't know. Dub Squared FPV says Underground Whoop League. Menderson says, oh no, we got that. Nick J says it works good enough for me, but I'm no scientist. It will easily measure 0.1 gram. Okay. Denzel the Terrible says, you say everyone calls me Ciotti. Does Maggie or when you're in trouble? My parents and my partners never ever call me Ciotti. Or the kids don't either. So yeah, everything but them. Everybody but them, I should say. But you know, that's a much less interesting opening. Everyone other than Maggie and the kids calls me Ciotti. And I actually I stole that from Ruxin, Rodney Ruxin, in the League, the TV show The League. He goes by his last name, Ruxin, and so when he introduces him to people, he says Rodney Ruxin. Everybody calls me Ruxin, and yeah, I stole that because I think that show is absolutely hysterical. If you do not watch The League, you should. It's really funny. As long as you like fart and dick jokes. If you don't like fart and dick jokes, you won't like The League. But if you have any appreciation for that kind of humor, you will laugh your balls off. So, I mean, I'm taking these motors off. It's pointless for these motors to be on this frame. I've still not fully committed to soldering and desoldering 24 30 gauge wires off these motors. But like, I guess I have to. I don't know. And unless somebody wants to buy these motors from me, which I don't know. Oh boy. What madness. This is the kind of thing that really like separates FPV from every single other thing on Earth. Like, this is the moment where any sane human being would just go like, no, nope, 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 not doing it. Nope. That ain't gonna be me. But not us, man. We roll to the workbench and spend an hour soldering 30 gauge wires. And that's what I'm about to do. McBucas says, I was going to try a Meteor 75 since the Mobula 7 doesn't Since the Mobula 7 doesn't world let you know how it goes. I can't figure that out. I can't figure out what word McBucas's iPhone changed. Metalderson says, I've had one rip out of the plug. Brandon Woodford says, you can do it, never give up. Denzel the Turbo says, think of all the people who are depending on you. Denzel the Turbo says, warning, you got a boogie in your right nostril. No, it's just gray hair. Yeah, no, it's just gray hair. Gray nose hair, yo. Denzel the Terrible with a 24 Canadian Californian dollar super chat. He says, your pay for soldering 24 motor leads, $1 a piece. Who else is willing to pay me $1 a piece to solder 24 of these. Order these. Thank you, Danzilla. I'll do it just because of you. Hickey45 says, have you tried the new Avatar HD goggles? I have not. Nobody sends me anything for free, and I can't afford stuff. So, yeah. Since I have Walksnail goggles, and since there's no, like, groundbreaking things for me personally, I don't think I'll buy the new Walksnail goggles. But, yeah, we had a big discussion about them, like, first thing on the stream. So if you want to get my take on them and get like a little bit of an idea of the specs, yeah, you can jump over there. Danzel the Terrible with a 17. Oh no, that's the it's doing the conversion from Canadian to cheeseburger money. Thank you, Danzel. Let's do it. Here we go. Pain incoming. Incoming pain, also known as FPV. Here we go. I'm going to do a bunch of these on the overhead cam because the overhead cam gives me all this space to work. And then I'll do a couple with the first ones here, I guess, with the close-up camera, which gets in my way and makes doing this stuff exponentially more frustrating. But then I will swap over, because I do want to try to get this done in as little of an amount of time as possible. Let me try to batch this out. So I'm going to take 4 of these, and I'm going to put them in all 4 corners of this Mass Adhesives thermally resistive putty. Available at massadhesives.com. I don't have an affiliate link or anything for them, but it's a good product. That works better than Silly Putty. So yeah, should get it. You'll dig it. Now let's just do 2 at a time. We'll do 2 at a time because I am like swapping things back and forth. We got a red and a black. Let's get the props off this little 702 here. So we got a red one, and now here is a black one. All right, because I want to like take the lead off one and put it right on the other. Oh my God, Teddy, easy, buddy. You're running up and down the stairs like an absolute madman. Let's do this then. Let's we'll go 1 and 1. We'll put 1 on one side, 1 on the other, and then we'll just swap them. All right, so we're going to get some flux going here. Don't put too much flux on these. It could get up into the bearings or the bushings. So just be a little bit careful with how much flux. And a lot of times you can hit all 3 of these at once. I don't usually recommend this unless you've been soldering a long time, but yeah, there you go. All 3 at once. Let's add a little bit of solder back onto here because a lot of times these things are using lead-free solder, which just does not work as well. So just real quick, we got 1, 2. We don't need to add much, just a little bit. And 3. What that'll also tend to do is get the solder to dry shiny again. A lot of times with the lead-free solder, it will just not be shiny, and that's not very satisfying. All right, so now we're going to remove this one, and then we're just going to bring it right over to the other motor. All 3 at once. There we go. And so this is going to go to that motor. All right, and now 2 of these bridged, so let's fix that. Fix that by heating both up and then pulling outwards like you just saw me do. And now we'll just add a little tiny bit of fresh solder here. 1, 2, and now it bridged again. But it's easy to fix that. Heat them both up and just swipe outwards. Let me take a look at this with the 5X loop real quick. Yeah, I need to add some extra solder. Okay. I'm going to have to put the nerd goggles on for this. It's just, the work is just too small. Okay. So, here we go. Let's add a little bit of extra solder. The first pad is fine, but the middle and right pads, yeah, they just need a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, they are not wanting to take solder. That's kind of weird. Okay. So now I need to unfurl these leads. All right. Here we go. And we've got 1. Nope. So the annoying part about the most annoying part about these is that the pads are so close together that you got to really be very cognizant of not bridging these leads together. Come on, dog, please stop. Okay, so we got one, we got a second one coming down here. Okay, and now here's the third one. Third one's going to be kind of a pain in the ass because it's not, the solder is not hanging out. Oh, well then no, we're good to go. That's fine. I do want to put a little piece of shrimp wrap on here, and I forgot to put it on. Yeah, so just leaving these leads naked like this, they'll eventually rip off, and it's just super annoying. So try to remember to put shrink wrap onto the wires before you solder them down. It's not the end of the world, but it just helps. So at this point, yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of backtrack a little bit. Although with these motors, there's not much room between the PCB and the motor bell. So this is going to be kind of tight, but let's try it anyway. And I want to remember the same thing on this one. See, I need to cut a bunch of shrink wrap. Oh my god, dog, what are you doing? Stop! Stop it! Get out of here! Go away! Get out! Bad boy. I need shrimp wrap. That's the right size. Oh my god, dog! Why? Why is this? Why? He brought his chicken. Apparently it's chicken time. Unbeknownst to me, it's chicken time. Alright, I'm gonna have to get this solder kit here. Okay. So oh god, dog, stop it, please. Maybe this one? Is this the right one? Let's see. I think this might be a little too small, but it's worth a shot. Nope. This is exactly the right size. Okay, so this is exactly the right size. we want to cut this down. We want to cut them short. We do not want these to be too long. So let's try that. I'm going to cut 2 of these that same length, just so that after I try the second one is like repeatable. Okay, so we're going to take this little piece of shrimp wrap. This is super tedious, but this is kind of important. It's just worth it to not have the wire leads rip off the motors. And then I'm going to have to stretch this out for this first one because it has to go over the plug because I soldered it on before putting this on. So let's see if that'll fit over the JST plug. Yep, just barely. Just barely. This shrimp wrap here in this kit is very skinny, very thin shrimp wrap, which will actually be perfect for this because there's the gap between the motor bell and the little PCB here is really, really, really tight. So this is the perfect shrimp wrap for this job. So just push it down on top of the PCB there, and then bring a little bit of fire in. And now your wire leads are way, way, way more protected than they were a minute ago. And yeah, if you accidentally pull on the wire leads, you will not rip the motor wires off anymore. So there we go. Now this one motor has a lead on it that's the right length. And we can just kind of spin it up a little bit because now I think it's got a little bit of extra length to it, which is kind of what we want. 1 down, 7 to go. Oh my God, 7 more? 7? Okay, so, and also this was the right length of shrimp wrap, so let's cut a bunch more. So that's 2. And I will not have to stretch the rest of these out because I will hopefully remember to put them onto the wires. 3. 4. So I already have 1 on there, which is 5. So then we got 6. And then 7 and 8 will be this last little piece here. All right, cool. So we got enough shrimp wrap to do all these. Oh man, this is ultra tedious. Jesus. All right, so shorter lead is going to go onto this 702 motor. And at some point, I'll put this 702 motor onto the hummingbird rig, and it'll be a little bit lighter. So that's kind of cool. All right, I need the nerd goggles. I can't see what the hell I'm doing. Ramdoggo says, Teddy loves you. He does indeed. He does indeed. Just move the chat over a little bit here so I can read it. There we go. All right. More torture. Here we go. No! Forgot to put it on. Forgot to put the shrimp wrap on. So yeah, this is what you want to do. Put it just on the wires, and then you won't have to stretch it out. And then you just push it down on the wires, so it just hangs out down there. And then you solder the wires on, and then you just move it in. Okay. How many times am I going to forget to do that? How many motors am I going to forget to do that on? There we go. 1 done. Yeah, see, like sometimes you can get the second one done with your bare hands. Usually not. Usually you just want to bite the bullet and bring the tweezers in. That one was pretty close to being perfect. Not quite, though. Let's... There we go. That's the move. All right. And then the last one. I was moving that around a bunch when it was cooling off, so let me just rework it. Okay, good to go. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these without the close-up cam. I just wanted to show you a couple here. That close-up cam is just very in the way, and it's just super annoying to try to do work with that camera right in front of me. So here's the shrimp wrap over this one, and this is an even bigger PCB here, so it's even easier to kind of do this. And then we're gonna just hit it with a little bit of fire, bottom and top, and we're good. Twist them up, and we've got the ultimate lightweight newbie drone 702 motor. Is that not exciting? Are you not entertained? This will be great on the hummingbird. We'll really like min-max the shit out of the hummingbird here with this set of extra 702 29,000s that newbie drone very kindly sent. Just checking to make sure that the shrimp wrap is not touching the bell of the motor. Boy, is it close. But we're good. We're fine. It's not touching. I mean, it'll be very obvious the first time I put the motors on if it's touching, but I can tell. Just by spinning it by hand there, I can kind of tell. All right. Shrink wrap set can go away. Remdongo says, respect and live GG. CiottiFPV soldering, that is. I think that's good. It's a good thing, right? GG is a good game. Yeah! Oh my god, I have to do that whole process 3 more times. Mother of God. Who knows what that's from? In that tone of voice. Someone will know. Someone will know. I like doing it like this, putting one on one side, the other one on the other side, and then you just swippity swappity. You just swami pastrami them, one to the other. All right, let's get some flux going here, just a tiny little bit. And all right, we will remove first. There we go. And add a little bit of solder back. Where the hell's the solder? There it is. The reason why adding solder like this will bring a little bit of shininess back is that the core of most solder has flux in it. So as long as you don't keep the heat on there for too long and burn all the flux off, yeah, you can add a little bit of shininess back by adding a little bit of flux. Your other option is just to like actually add flux. This is one of the reasons that I will add flux as the first thing that I do here on each one of these pads. Okay, let's try to not forget about the shrimp wrap. add it to the wires. Okay, there's one. Here is the other. And the other thing I like to do is just separate these wires out, like so that when I solder the wires on, they're like left ones on the left, middle ones in the middle, right ones on the right. That's totally me being a crazy person. There's absolutely no reason to do that. I mean, I guess you could argue that if all motors were done like that, then you wouldn't have to play this weird game of every single time you change motors, putting it into Betaflight and seeing what direction they spin. So, yeah, I'll go with that as the reason that I do it. It's not the reason that I do it. I do it because it looks better this way. But, you know, nobody has to know that. All right, let's add a little bit extra solder here. Oh boy. These pads on the Hummingbird motors do not love having solder added to them. It is not their favorite thing in the world, but that's okay. Gauge Stays Fly says, Super Troopers, there it is. Flush FPV says, what temp do you run your soldering iron at? 700 Fahrenheit. That is a little bit too hot for these wires, and a little bit too cool for big, thick 5-inch power leads. But what's nice is, with these wires, I can just be really quick, and with those, I can just be a little bit slower, and it gets the job done. So I don't have to move the temperature all around on my soldering iron. These pads just don't have quite enough solder on them, and they refuse to like hold on to the solder. So what I'm going to do is tin the tip with a little bit of extra solder here. And then it'll just kind of hold on to a little bit of the extra solder when I do this work. So like right now, I kind of have an excessive amount, not that much, but yeah, a little bit too much solder on the tip of the iron. But it is each one of these joints that I do, a little bit of that extra solder is staying on the joint, and it's giving me like the perfect amount of solder there. Let's just roll right into this other one and just knock this other one out rather than whacking off to the work that we just did. All right, so 2 of these leads are being too friendly, more friendly than I want them to. Come apart, guys. There they go. Okay. Okay, this one goes here. That one goes there. All right. Here we go. I will not need to do that same thing on this 702 motor. This 702 motor, the pads are holding on to solder as one would expect. Basically, these 702s just have like a bigger PCB with bigger pads on it. The Hummingbird motors, since they're being, I assume, since they're being manufactured at a cost, they have a slightly smaller, thinner PCB on them, which is fine. Like it's just, you know, in this one fringe case, it's like a little bit, that makes it a little bit more difficult, but unless you're doing this, you'll pretty much never know the difference. Yay! 2 down, third one left. That third one I moved a bunch when it was cooling. So I'm just going to come back in and grab all 3 of these wires. And that's going to hold that third one in place. And then I'm just going to get that third one hot again. And it would appear that that third one is also trying to bridge to the middle one. So I'm going to clean the shit out of the tip of my soldering iron. And then I'm going to come in here, and that is going to remove some of the solder that's on here, although I didn't do a very good job cleaning it. There we go. So a lot of times this will remove just enough solder, but in this case I fucked up and that wire moved, so now I got to do it again. That's all right though. So let's take that wire off, and we're going to clean this pad up a little bit. There we go. And now we're just going to drop it right back on there. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. And now the first one is sitting a little too far off the pad, so I'm just going to rework this first one real quick, like. There we go. And I just pushed it forward so that it's sitting on the pad a little bit more. All right, now we can push our shrink wrap forward onto the joints, onto the PCBs, I should say. I'm putting onto the joints too. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, we are putting on the joints. So push it as far down as possible, and then hit it with a little fire. Or a heat gun. Heat gun would probably be a better choice, but you know, who doesn't want to? If given the opportunity to play with fire, why would you not play with fire? And there we have it. Okay. And the shrink wrap is not touching the motor bell, so we're good. All right. Shorten this guy up since it is going to live its life on a 65mm rig. Huzzah! I cannot believe I'm doing this. I cannot believe this is what I'm doing in my life right now. It is 8 o'clock. Gage Stays Fly, he says, just finished my Marmot Maiden just now, was so excited after hearing you praise Armatan. Sorry, dude. You know, just telling it like it is. Their frames are not that bad. It's just there's a lot of better frames. Like 3-4 years ago, their frames were kind of on par with some of the other ones. Not all the other ones. There were better frames back then, but yeah, kind of is what it is. Smash it, break it. It won't take long to break it, so you'll have to replace it sooner than later. And you can replace it with something that's got the carbon fiber going in the right direction. And then you can profit, as the kids say. I try to use the blue gassy part of the flame, which just it leaves less soot on the wires, so like your clear shrink wrap will stay clear if you use the gassy part of the flame from a lighter. It's one of you guys that actually tipped me off to that cool little trick. All right, we're halfway there. We just have to do everything we just did all over again. Ugh! I still can't believe I'm doing this. This is insane. I mean, for me to not do this though, I would have to like, you know, I don't have another set of 802 motors for a with the Newbie drone plugs on them. Like I had those 30,000 kVs, and I removed the plugs off of those because the one of them ripped off, and I'm just never gonna run. I don't know what to do with those motors, those 802 30,000s. They're just too heavy. If I'm gonna run an 802 on a 65mm rig to take advantage of 30,000 kV, it's gonna be with the EX motors, the lighter weight 802s. So like, yeah, I don't really know what to do with those. I'll figure something out though. A little bit of flux first. And all right, here we go. 3 at once, because I'm a ninja. Okay, and then we're going to move this. Nope, we're going to put the shrimp wrap on first. I cannot believe I'm remembering to do this. I really am very impressed with myself at the moment. Okay, and I don't dare just do one, because I will 100% forget the other one. Okay, there we go. And this is the 702 with the short leads, so let's just get these wires sorted. Okay. Just like that. And I also try to always put the little latches upwards, just so that one motor doesn't need to have like half a twist and the other motor doesn't. Again, that's me being an absolute crazy person. First one is on. At the moment, I have a big old blob of solder on the tip of this soldering iron, and I'm just kind of going with it. There is not quite enough solder on these pads, but the massive blob of solder on the tip of the iron is transferring just enough as I do each one of these. So this is not necessarily the best way to do it, but it's the way that I'm doing it right now. So the problem I'm having at the moment is one of the reasons that I really hate doing this. It's hard to hold the stator down, and like right now, the stator keeps wanting to rotate on me, and it just kind of makes me want to scream. I can kind of bring my pinky in to hold the wires in place, and it makes it a little bit less painful, but it's still effing annoying. All right, now that third one, I was about to redo that third one, but it's just close enough to being good. I'm going to grab all three, and I'm just going to rework that third one. It just wasn't quite clean enough. And there we go. That one's good. Okay, now we're going to do this guy. And okay. Okay. And all right. Latches up. Here we go. Same kind of thing. I got a big blob of solder on the tip of the iron. I'm just going to use it. Instead of adding solder to each of these. Yeah, man, sometimes, like every once in a while, that second one you can do by hand, but realistically, you want to do it with tweezers. Remember to move the work to you. Don't move yourself around the work. Very tempting to move yourself around the work. But it's a bad habit to get in. All right, so the blob of solder on the tip of the iron has just been there for too long. Let's get it off. And then we will add a little bit more. Okay, we're good. Here we go. Ooh, that was a tough one. All right. Yeah, see how like the motor keeps spinning? That is absolutely maddening. But I don't really know how to get around that. Like, in order to hold the, like, you just have this, I guess I could just take a bit of this putty and just wrap it up and just touch this, but I don't know. It's more fun to struggle, I guess. These 3 joints look good. Let's put the shrink wrap down on it to protect them. And give us an excuse to play with fire yet again. Come on. Really make sure that you push this shrimp wrap down as far as it'll go. Because otherwise it won't really accomplish anything. It's got to be really down on the PCB. And it tries to like come up off the PCB basically. But you can get it. I have faith in you. Charles Marseille says, we all need some Clang Man right now. Type in Clam Man to YouTube and fire it on up, my friends. I cannot play it because somebody has claimed ownership of it and they are copyright dinging people that use it, unfortunately. So, no more Clam Man for me, other than, you know, when I just watch it on my time, when I really need it. I'm not going to do that yet, though. Okay, shrimp wrap down on this 702. Looks like there's a little tiny solder ball on here. Let's just get that off of there. It's kind of stuck to the motor bell. Okay, good to go. And awesome. Shrimp wrap is not touching the bell. All is right with planet Earth at this very moment in my little world. Kevin Sumner is in the house. He was thinking he was going to get a replay action, but instead he's going to get to watch me do the most monotonous shit ever. Only one more, though. Only one more time. One more time. Here we go. Here we go. Nobody tell Kevin what we're doing. He has to try to figure it out on his own. That is a strange game to play with what I'm doing at the moment. Although he'll figure it out. Ram Douglas says, pencil blowtorch for the win. Yeah, I have one of them. It's just, I have a tendency to get it too close. Whereas with this, like, there's no questioning it. You put it as close as it'll go, and it's just good. It's just all set. You should have both, though. Certain things work really well. Certain situations are perfect for the tiny little blowtorches. Other situations are perfect for the naked flame of a good old Bic lighter. Sometimes you want to flick your Bic. Sometimes you want to flick your dick. It's you know, different strokes for different folks. All right, a little bit of flux. Okay. And try to pull on that little plunger so that it leaks less when I'm not using it, when it's just sitting on the table. All right, all three at once on the 702. Don't forget the shrimp wrap. It's my last chance to forget. Looks like I might actually not forget. Crazy. Look at that. I did not forget. What a time to be alive. I did not forget. Weird, man. I don't really know what to do. I feel like I've cheated the people that wanted me to forget. we go. Shrimp wrap is on. Here comes the doggy. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh solder to these pads here. I'll try to at least. All right. Again, I've got a big blob of solder on the tip of this iron, so I'm just going to use it. Yeah, neither one of these motors really want to hold much solder on the pads. I mean, I guess it makes sense that the pads are just so incredibly small. There's just like kind of nowhere for them to hold solder. Okay, short one going on to the 702. Come on, there it goes. This delay in time between when I take the soldering iron off of the motor and have to hold the wire perfectly still as it cools is why I run 60/40 solder. I do not need the extra time that 6337 solder gives you. I've done enough soldering that I just don't need that extra time. That's really the only reason to get that 6337 solder is if you need more time for it to cool to get the wire into the right position. I think that you should have the wire perfectly in position before you ever pull the soldering iron off of the work. And if you do that, then the 60/40 solder is kind of the perfect amount of time. So yeah, there's that. All right, and I just got this in the perfect position. Let's bring some fire in here. And that is good to go. All right, one more. And it's the last hummingbird motor. Motor. A B8 motor. My car's got a B8 motor in it. It's a motor. It's not a motor. It's an engine. Gasoline engine. Electric motor. Get it right. Get it right, or the fun police will knock down your door and eat your whole family. We don't want that. All right, there's a solder ball literally hanging off of the tip of the soldering iron. That was weird. I'm going to add just a little bit to the tip of the iron, and here we go. Okay, one. I'm going to try to do the second one by hand, stupidly. No, there's just not. Although sometimes you can like get it tacked down by hand, basically, and then just come in and get it perfect. That's fine. You do you, man. You guys know how to solder by now. You've been hanging out here enough. There we go. Second one's good. Third one, there's just no way to do it by hand. It's just too much in the way. See, and now right now, I'm dealing with this bullshit where the And stator wants to rotate. This is me not moving the work to me because I'm frustrated. Sometimes you can get away with it. I just kind of got away with it, but I just want to make sure that this wire is all the way sat down. All right, third one is not as good as the other two, but it's fine. It's fine. There's going to be a piece of shrimp wrap up on it. It's going to be okay. Shrimp wrap on. Push it down as far as it'll go. And play with fire. All right. We did it. We did it. All we had to do was tear the entire thing apart and solder 24 effing things. Shout out to, who was it? Who was it? One of the only reasons that I did this, I think it was Danzilla, is that, yeah, Danzilla had a $24 Canadian super chat. $1 Canadian for every brain cell that was lost while doing, no, for every wire that I had to do that. Although, didn't I just do 48? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, well, yeah, I mean, I removed 24 and then soldered 24 back on. All right. Might as well put these on the frame and fly the damn thing. You know? Denzel says, good job, I'm proud of you. Gage Stays Fly says, thank you for understanding the difference between engine and motor. Got a beating in diesel college if we said motor. LOL. Yeah, motor is also like such an American word. You motor, like Brits make fun of our using motor all the time, and it just, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it so much. Jesse James says, I bought a 1-2S jhemcu AIO, and the solder pads came off during flight. Which AIO do you recommend? I hate AIOs so hard. I hate them so hard. So I actually I stay away from them, and I don't really recommend them. So that, first things first, I don't recommend AIOs. They're the bane of my existence, for reasons like the one that you're dealing with. I mean, like, yeah, there's so many reasons. Don't get me started on the reasons why AIOs suck. In some cases, though, the frame. So if there's a way to not run an AIO, always don't run an AIO. If the frame requires an AIO, I need to know what it is. Like, because certain AIOs will work in certain frames. So yeah, I need to know like the entire build in order to actually make a recommendation. Fair warning, since I hate AIOs so much, I don't really know many of the AIOs, but I do know a couple of them. So if you're building just the right thing, I might actually have a recommendation for you. But most important thing here is that if at all possible, don't use an AIO. They are awful. They fly like ass, and if anything breaks, you have to replace the entire thing. It's all bad. It's one of the worst things that's happened to FPV. It makes sense for tiny whoops, and I guess you could argue that it makes sense for toothpicks, but everything else should have a 20x20 stack in it. So yeah. Jesse James says, I have the Caddx ratel cam Zeus VTX 14,000kv and bassline frame. So I think the bassline frame is a toothpick. I am not a toothpick guy. I stopped flying toothpicks 4 to 5 years ago. So yeah, I'm just not super up on toothpick AIOs. I was hoping that you had a tiny whoop that you're trying to build, because I know a couple of tiny whoop AIOs. I guess that my only recommendation can be the Happy Model X12. That's really the only like 1 to 2S AIO that I know. Yeah. Excuse me. What is it that I can help you with, sir? What's happening here? Why are you here, sir? What can I do for you? What is this life situation that you're currently in that you're asking for me to help with? You've now brought me 2 toys. You've brought me the chicken and the camel, and I've not thrown either one of them for you. But, man, you're still just holding out hope, huh? Just thinking, you know. Just thinking. Look at that nose. His nose looks like something from a goddamn, like, stuffed animal. Like, look at it. Look at this guy. Look at these eyebrows. My God. My God, man. It is the game that we play. I smack and scratch his butt. He tries to bite me. This is it. This is my life at this point. I don't know why it's so satisfying to just slap his little butt. Is that just me? Does anybody else like to slap dogs and cats' little hindquarter areas? It's not his actual butt. It's like his lower back. Doggy, stop it! Get out of here! Get out! Get out of here! What's up, Scurdy Curtis? Duke Jr., P. Richard Scott says. What's up, homie? Okay, now, see, this is the problem. I do that, and then he gets all fucking hopped up on goofballs, and then... Okay, stop biting me. God damn it, stop biting me. Stop being so mouthy. God. Fucking puppies, man. Puppies. He's alright. He's alright, I guess. Jesse James says, is there a 85mm quad frame? There are quite a few. Don't eat the motors! Jesus. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, there's a bunch of 85mm frames. I don't recommend any of them. But, yeah, there are a bunch. Stay away from them, though. Unless you have, like, a specific reason. But, yeah, 85mm whoop frames are very fragile because they're too big to be a plastic whoop frame. And then 85mm carbon fiber frames are... Just 2-inch propellers are much less efficient and thrusty than 2.5-inch propellers. And the difference in size is so minimal that you might as well go up to 2.5-inch. It's actually a really good idea to go up to 2.5-inch rather than 2-inch. So kind of across the board, in my opinion, you want to stay away from 2-inch setups. Because you just might as well go up to 2.5. And on tiny whoops, you're going to end up with something super fragile. And that kind of defeats the point, in my opinion, of a tiny whoop, right? Like, if you're going to take the penalty of the shittier flight performance of having prop guards, it might then, you know, like, the benefit of that is that you can bash into shit. Well, if you're on an 85mm build, you can't really bash into shit because it's just going to break. So what the hell's the point? The guards are just there. Like, I guess if you're doing cinematic work, then, okay, I kind of get it. But most people are not doing that. Shut up, phone. Shut up! Jesse James says, okay, which would you get? I wouldn't. I wouldn't get any of them. And I really don't know anything about them because they're just not good. Like, I don't learn about stuff that sucks. It's like a really harsh way to put it, but it's true. Like, that's the truth. Like, if what's an example of this? I mean, 85mm tiny whoops are the best example of that. You know, I don't put any effort into learning about them, because it's wrong. It's the wrong size for a tiny whoop, and yeah. If it's a tiny whoop, there's only two of them. There's the Happy Model 85mm frame, and there's the Beta FPV 85mm frame. So just get them both, and they'll both break. Maybe you can figure out which one is a little bit more durable, but they're both going to break pretty quickly. So yeah, if you're absolutely hell-bent on doing it, just get them both. And you will get to see which one is more durable for you. Which is really all that matters, right? Like, you got to be careful with durability stuff. There is not, like, if one person says, like, yo, this is the most durable thing ever, like, it might not be the most durable thing ever for you. Just kind of understand that. And yeah, I know that's kind of annoying, but durability is a little bit of a moving target. Everybody crashes differently. Everybody crashes into different hardnesses of materials. So you gotta be a little careful with that. But if anybody is saying that the 85mm frames are durable, then you should not listen to anything that person says, because that is a person that doesn't that is a person that does not crash, because that's the only way that those frames are durable. And so if a person that does not crash is talking about durability, then anything else that they say has, like, just holds no weight, in my opinion, because they're just talking out of their ass. Like, they should understand that they don't crash and not talk about durability. The only thing they should say in reference to durability is, I don't really know because I don't crash. So yeah, be wary of that. Hey! All the motors are plugged in. All the motors are screwed down. All of the motor wires now are long enough. Thanks to like an hour and a half of soldering. Jesus. What's going to really suck is when I start to break these motors. Every single time I want to swap another motor on, I'm going to have to do that again. But I'll just have to do it one at a time. Jesse James says Alpha 85, but they all suck. Yeah, 85 is just a really, really tough place to be, unfortunately. I almost absolutely certainly have to get this into Betaflight to get these motors spinning the right direction. There's just no chance that that these motors will be spinning correctly, because like I moved the wires around, and yeah. Here we go. Connect. Murders. Motor direction. I understand the risks. Wizard. Start and spin. Motor 1 is correct. Motor 2 is wrong. Motor 3 is wrong. Motor 4 is right. Switch number 2. Switch number 3. Stop motors. Close. I understand the risks. Spin them up. Double check. 1 is good. 2 is good. 3 is good. 4 is good. Teddy's back on my lap. All motors are making the same pitch, which means that they are spinning roughly the same RPM at full throttle, which is good. Security Curtis says, so do you still recommend the Mobula 6 over the Hummingbird for indoor freestyle? Absolutely. I'm planning on building the ultimate freestyle, but wanted to start with the right one. Yep. The main thing that keeps me from recommending the Hummingbird is the OSD that Newbie Drone uses. They use a non-standard OSD, and the video quality with analog already kind of stinks, and their custom OSD makes it even worse. So yeah, as much as I love Newbie Drone and I love their products, I cannot in good faith recommend their Hummingbird, even though it is really good, over the standard Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop setup, which is based on the Mobula 6 ELRS. If you're looking for stateside customer support and any of the other things that Newbie Drone is known for and are great for, yeah, the Hummingbird is a great little build. But for, the answer to your question is no, I do not recommend it. I think for some people it's a good bet, but not for everybody. I don't have props on here, and I'm like plugging it in and like getting ready to fly it and getting all jazzed up. Let's get some props going. So I now need to find 1.6 inch, 1mm shaft plugs. I know I have some. Dog, would you stop biting me? He just puts his entire mouth, arr, just eat. I'm going to eat your hand, sir. Stop it. Stop. Relax. Stop it. Stop biting. No more biting. Stop it. Bad boy. This is no, don't bring me your toys. This is not playtime. Oh my god. This is not toy time. Back up off me. All I want to do is pick his toy up and throw it as hard as I can across the room, but if I do that, it'll reinforce the insane behavior that he's exhibiting. So I can't do that. Get out of here! Stop it! Back up! Get out of here! Get out of here! Back up off me. Stinks, too. He's stinky. Runs around outside, he gets all smelly, it's awful. Back up off me. Get your toy. Get these toys out of here! Why did I just do that? Why would I do it? Hey, guess what? He brought him back. No, now you're knocking stuff over. Stop it. Oh, I did this. This is my fault. Here it is. There it is. Okay, then there's a camel in my crotch. I have a crotch camel. Go away. Oh god, this look that he's given me. This expecting look. This look of, please throw my toy. Oh god! He puts the toy right on my gonads. And then if I don't throw it in time, he just smashes his face into my nads. Oh boy. It's all doggy drooled up now. Okay. I think there's like little flecks of solder all over this camera because I keep using it as the up close cam. Teddy 2 times should be on a postcard. Why 2 times? What is this? What is on me? A leaf. Oh. Jesse James says, I crashed because I fly hard, so I have 2 65mm builds, 1 ghostly clone and 1 ultimate clone. I build them all identical to yours, but I want to make the jump, so basically 65, 75mm, then 2.5. Yeah, in my opinion, just skip 2 inch. Ram Dogma says, good fam dog, that CiottiFPV. Ah! So that's the noise that he makes when he yawns. Like us humans, when he yawns, he goes like, ah! And he makes this absolutely ridiculous noise, and it is just, there is nothing, I repeat, nothing cuter than the noise that this dog makes when he yawns. It's something else. He could eat the whole house, he could bite my face off, he could eat the children, and I would forgive him just right away. Just instant forgiveness the second that he yawns. Maybe that makes me a monster? Probably does. I'm okay with it. Oh man, these props are buried. I gotta... Okay. High left. High left. High right. Nope, that's high left. That's high left. Where are all the high rights? What? Where are all the high rights? There's one. High right. High left. Okay, I have like every single tiny whoop propeller all splayed out here. Hold on. La 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 la. Get in there. High left. High left. Why do I have so many high left propellers? What's the deal with this? All the red props away first. Why would I have like an abnormal number? Am I breaking these propellers? Is that what's happening? Here's all the here are the HQ bi-blades. I really, if HQ does not start opening the top of their propeller holes up, I'm gonna strike against them. I'm gonna go on strike against their propellers. That's what's gonna happen. High right, high left, high left, high right. We good. That's what all of the 1.6 inch, 1 millimeter props look like, all in a bag. I was like, no, don't eat it. Don't eat that bag. Hey, stop it. Eat your llama. It's not a llama, it's a camel. The old camel clutch coming in handy as usual. What pro wrestler used the camel clutch as their finishing move? It's actually before my time. High left. I'm going to put this on the front because this is going to take a lot of abuse. These props are going to fly right off these motors. I'm calling it right now. All right, last one. The old camel clutch, made famous by the Iron Sheik. Good call, Danzella. I did not watch wrestling when the Iron Sheik was in there. You wanna wrestle me? What movie is that from? I'll actually be impressed if somebody can get that one. No! Back up. Back up, dog. Back up. Back. Oh my god, look at him. Come on. Come on now. Come on. Look at that. Look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! He jumped at it. Oh boy, I can hear him. Oh god, no! He's gonna eat it. He's gonna eat it. This is gonna be the first one that he eats. Teddy, back up. Thank you. No. Those little steps when he backs up. Oh no! I think I just went through a gate. Oh shit. Teddy, back up. Back up. No, don't hit it. Don't hit it, dog. No. No. Hold on. Teddy! No! No! That is not cool. We do not eat. We do not eat the tiny whoops. Hey, no! Don't eat. No, no. Jesus Christ. I'm sweating my ass off because I'm laughing so hard. Okay, let's get away from him. Oh, shit. Oh, God, it's so hard to fly these 75mm rigs. Oh, my God, so much power, though, with these 802 25,000s. Oh! He's coming. Oh, shit. I can't fucking fly because I'm laughing so hard and because it's a 75mm rig. Oh, Christ. Okay. All right, so here it is. Hummingbird 802 25,000s. Check the tune real quick. There is some... Look at that. What the hell's that about? Hold on. There's something... Oh, wow. The pitch axis. The tune is bad on the pitch axis. Look at all that bobbling. Ooh. Gross. Okay. Oh, God. Here he comes. Oh! Teddy, don't eat it. Oh, I see the problem. Here's the problem. See the problem there in front of the quad? That's the problem. Teddy, back up. Teddy, come over here. Come over here. Come on. Get the camel. The camel is much less fun than Tiny Whoop. We've got a dingleberry, my friends. We've got a dingleberry. That's why it's all bobbly. The battery popped out the bottom. Let's get the battery put back in there. And that'll be good. Skirty Curtis with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, for the health fund, because my lady likes Teddy. Love it. Love that. 810 goes up to 815. Thank you, brother. Hell yeah. Okay, I think this battery is actually spent, so let's swap to a different one. Hello again, dog. I see you're back. For more, I don't know, abuse? Butt smacks? Butt scratches? What do you need? What do you need from me, dog? What do you want from me? When I plug it in, he goes... when it plays the little song. All right, buddy, back up. Back up. Back. Good boy. Nope. No! No. Not cool. We are not eating tiny whoops. That's not what's happening. Okay? No eating. No eating the electronics. Back. Back. Be cool. Be cool, Tedward. Tedward Cullen, be cool. Oh, he wants to eat this quad. Alright, so the tune is fine. It was 100% Dingleberry related. Tune's actually, like, kind of good. Oh, God, 75mm life. What's up, small dog? You can't catch me. Oh, he gonna catch me. Oh! Here he comes. Back up. Back up, doggy. Oh, God. Is it gonna... Am I gonna be able to get it up in the air in time before he bites it? Yeah. Oh! I think he just fell. Oh, there was a huge slam. I think he might have jumped for it. Done a little half backflip. Oh. boy. You did that to yourself, though, my friend. You're going to have to learn. Okay, hold on. What did I just want to do? I wanted to do something. Oh, let me turn up the VTX, and then I'm going to go upstairs, and you guys tell me if it's better. So I was just all the way upstairs. Now I'm going up here again. Is it any better with the VTX power turned up? In my rapid fire goggles, it's like perfect. I'm gonna go back down to 25 million watts. That's what milliwatts stands for. Did you guys know that? It stands for million watts. 25 million watts. All right, we're back on to 25 million watts. I'll go back up here, and you guys tell me. For me, I mean, there's just no breakup at all on rapid fire up here. Oh boy, battery. Don't make me walk. Oh yeah. Chat. What is it better? McMucus with a $4.20 super chat. The weed number. He says 20%, 25% of my flying is me playing with the dog. Oh shit. Ramdoggo says best fetch ever. LEDs and shit. CMYK says you can also message CiottiFPV if you want to buy a few printed. Yeah, I do have a whole bunch of McStinky mounts available. Yeah, standard 75 millimeter in the house kind of fare here. Very difficult to fly. Way too much power, way too much weight. If you can only have one tiny whoop though, and you have to fly it outside, I don't know, maybe 75. I would still do a 65, but you do you. You build whatever you want. All right, buddy, you ready for a little more workout? You ready to do another backflip and slam down on the ground? Oh God, where is he? I don't like when I can't see him. There he is. Oh, look at the tune getting a little overactive. Let's take care of that. Wait, no, that's not the right thing. Profile, simplified tuning, and we are just gonna back the P gains and D gains off just a little bit there. Let's check and make sure it still has enough. Yeah, it's fine. So the situation is that we just added a whole bunch of power to this build by going up to a bigger propeller. And when you add power, it's almost like adding PID gains. Oh, although... Oh boy, that was a big slam. Although we've also added delay. The response time is worse. Ugh! Yeah, it's tough to... Even though it has all this extra power, it's got a lot of extra weight. So it makes pulling out of those big dives like more difficult than with the 65 millimeter rigs, and you can see it's starting to prop wash at the bottom of those. I can just fly around that. Like in my opinion, that's a piloting error. If you get on the throttle earlier, it'll stop that behavior. Even if you just go like partial throttle a little bit earlier, it'll fix that. Oh. Yeah, this has more prop wash than I really want. I'm gonna try to add some D gain back into it. The dog has just decided to not chase it anymore. Is he just waiting for it to come here so he can more easily eat it? Is that the deal? Back up, buddy. Yeah. This for outdoor stuff, this is going to be really good. For inside the house, though, it's a little rough. Last battery, and then I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm starving. Let's really put it upstairs and throw it around on this one. This Mobula 7 V4 frame is very durable. So yeah, I mean, it took some pretty big hits already. It should keep taking those hits. Eventually, you will break this frame, but it'll take a while, which is good. Yeah, this Acrobee is a really nice candidate, I think, for a 75mm build. I think if you're gonna have a fleet of newbie drone rigs, you should do your Hummingbird as your 65, and then your Acrobee as your 75. It's just like the specs and the VTX power and the weight of the AIOs. It just kind of makes sense to do it this way. Let's get the throttle expo dialed in a little bit. So the hover throttle is very low. It's looking like it's about 21, 23, 21, 20, 17. It's off on the right there. 22. So let's lock that in real quick. That'll make it a little easier to fly. Oops. So we're going to go into profile. We're going to go into rates. And then we're going to go all the way to the bottom. Throttle midpoint. See how it's at 35? That's way too high. That's been making it harder to fly. I'm going to leave it at 25 because I was flying pretty slowly just now. Oh, boy. And when you change that... Oh. When you change that number, it changes where the throttle hover point is, but not in this case. We're still at like 21, 22, 24. Yeah, so 25's just about perfect. Oh, no! Oh, boy. Oh, God, why? Ooh! Thought we were going in on that one. Pretty sure of it, actually. Oh God, I'm falling down the stairs. Nope. Oh boy. I haven't tried to do any of the. Oh, you know what? I took most of the. I took most of the gates down. I don't really have many gates left up, but. Oh yeah, see, like trying to do any of the really tight acrobatic stuff down here with a 75 is just like damn near impossible. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. I wasn't gonna bother trying, but then I was like, well, at least I can try, and yeah, this is what happens. It's just impossible to do anything, which is really why the whole 75 thing. Dog, I swear to God, why? The whole 75 thing really only makes sense for outdoor. Like, yes, you can fly it in the house, but it just makes doing anything cool really, really difficult. And I lost a propeller, and the propeller that I lost is like back in absolute no man's land behind the desk over here. Ugh, farts. Dog, can you back the fuck up off me, please? Good Lord, man. Jesus. Where is this propeller? I can't believe this. Oh, shit. I think I just unplugged something. I think I made a mistake. Well, I can't find the propeller anyway. Okay, hopefully the stream is still going. Hopefully I didn't unplug something essential to stream life. Dog, what are you doing? Get off of me! Get off! Dog, get off. Stop. Stop! Why are you doing this? Why are you like this? Oh, there's all dead bugs and shit down. Ew, God, what the? Okay. Stream still going? Let's see. Stream still up? Stream's still up. Very cool. Oh, God, this thing's just sitting here plugged in. Oh. Well, whatever. I'll quickly switch the, No! Shit. I don't have another one of those props. No, I gotta unplug it. It's gonna catch on fire. There's 2 minutes that's been plugged in. Not good. Don't do that, friends. That's bad. That's bad FPV person. What do I need? A high left. High left. There we go. All right, let's fly the rest of this battery real quick, and then we'll... Metal Dirtson says, you get a beefier kick drum sound with the 75. Indeed. It's a little better on YOLO power, not drastically. Okay. Did you notice that there was more multipathing with it on max power? All right, last little bit of abuse. And then we will spin these motors up and see if I have already ruined any of them from the incredible weight of 75mm rigs inside. What's that battery at? 3.8? 3.9. Yeah, so like trying to do anything in these newbie drone gates is, yeah, it's just so difficult. Woo! Okay, great. There's such a delay with the, man, the 75mm rigs really make like the 65mm rigs look so precise and like razor sharp. Even like this, even this stuff, like, man, this is so much more difficult. Different tools for different jobs, yo. This is the wrong tool for this job. Runtime kind of sucks, too. And there you have it, friends! How to make your Acrobee a little bit more powerful for outdoor flying. Put it into a 75mm frame with hummingbird motors. Yeah. I mean, realistically, but like that's a cool little setup. Having like getting both newbie drone rigs, right? Getting a hummingbird and an Acrobee BLV4, and then swapping motors. That's pretty cool. Like that's a neat little setup to have a get out of here, doggy. To have a lighter weight hummingbird for your 65, and then the Acrobee as your 75, and you've got all the newbie drone customer support, and you know just the fact that they're shipping from inside the U.S. Like that's pretty slick. And yeah, I mean this is how I'm gonna leave these. Like this is it for me. This is final form for each one of these AIOs. The hummingbird AIO. For freestyle, this is what makes the most sense. This is what you want to do if you're a newbie drone fan. Get the Cockroach V3 frame, get the hummingbird, put it in there, get the 0702 29,000 kV motors. Best case scenario, hold on. What motors come on the Acrobee BLV4? Can you buy the Acrobee BLV4 with 0702 29,000 kV motors? They should sell a kit. They should just do this. They should sell these set up like this, actually. They should have the Ciotti configuration of their two bind and flies. So we're going to go into newbie drone products. We're going to look at Whoop bind and flies. So there's the... Okay, yeah, I thought it came with the 27,000s. So here are all the... Yeah, no, they all come with 27,000s. Are they 802s, though, or are they 702s that they come with? Let's take a look. They are... 802s. Okay. So... Yeah, maybe just... So maybe what you would want to do... Oh, man, you're going to have to solder these wires on now. Hey, that's me! Yeah, it's a lot of work to get it to this point. I don't necessarily know if I want to sign you. Just swapping the, but you know, if you want to do this, if you want to have the two best possible freestyle setups for your newbie drone stuff, you're gonna buy a Hummingbird. You're gonna frame swap it into the new V3 frame, and you're gonna buy yourself a set of the newbie drone 0702 29,000 kV motors, gem fan biblades, and that's it. And then you can have, this is really the best performing Hummingbird that you're going to have. And the performance is phenomenal. BT 2.0 as well, or an A30. And then I think what you would do is just get the Acrobee BLV4 AIO, or better yet, get the BLV3, to be honest, because it looks like they're selling that again. And then Mobula 7 V4 frame, and take the motors off your Hummingbird. You can buy these longer motor extensions, so just buy a set of them. If I just search for JST, there they are. So you can just get a set of JST 1.0 leads, and these leads are long enough, so you just buy a set of these for $3, and you're gonna have to solder these onto the Hummingbird motors, and then yeah, BT 2.0 of course, and this will be pretty good outside. Let's see real quick if I've managed to bend any of these motor shafts yet. The way that I check that is that I just spin them by hand, and I just look at the gap between the bottom of the motor bell and the wires. There's a tiny little gap between the wires and the bottom of the motor bell, and if you're spinning the motor by hand, you just kind of hold it like this. So for you guys, it would be, you'd be holding it like that, so you can see right in there the bottom of the bell, and then you just spin the motor, and you see if that gap between the bottom of the motor bell and the wires changes. If it does, then you've bent a motor shaft. It's hard to see, and it's really small in these tiny loops. I'm actually gonna have to use this 5X loop, but let's take a look. I mean, we didn't crash it that hard yet, so I wouldn't think that it would be bent. That one's fine. That one's bent. Wow, that was quick. Just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit, though. That one's clean. And that one's clean as well. So one of them is just ever so slightly bent. I will get this out to a jungle gym and make that much, much, much worse. Because, you know, the jungle gyms are all like metal poles, and I'm just like full tilt, full throttle, flinging it around the entire time. Hey, if anybody has... in their boxes of stuff, old stuff, if anybody has one of these old ass foam battery adapter pieces here, I would love to buy it off of you. I just have this one. I would love to have an extra one. But yeah, this is the piece that we used to throw away way back in the day when we would convert these 75mm frames to work with the skinny batteries. So if anybody has one of these foam bastards sitting in their box of old parts, please set it aside for me. I will trade you or buy it off you or whatever. It should be nice to have another one. I mean, it's fine. I can just pull it out of this quad and put it in the other one. But yeah, be nice to have a second one. So yeah, there's that. Not one, but two 75mm rigs. One of them on an X12, the other one on the Acrobee BLV4. Kind of cool. The Mobula build is going to have better video quality. The Acrobee the Acrobee build is going to have better customer service. Wow, my voice has just left the building. I don't quite understand. I guess I was yelling a little bit. Maybe that's why. 3.8, 3.7, and 3.73. So yeah, these batteries are available. There's a fourth one floating around here somewhere. It's probably still in the quad. No. Where'd the fourth one go? I don't know. Maybe there's only 7 of these now. What the hell? Oh, it's on the floor. So yeah, 6 of these little 300 mAh batteries are for sale. If you want them, let me know. Thank you, friends. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your support. Northern Tier says BLV pound and add an ELRS receiver. Oh, shit. Right. Yeah, BLV3. Yeah, so that's the only problem with the BLV3 is that it does not have ELRS built in. You have to add an external ELRS receiver. So, yeah, the plus of the BLV3 is that if you decide to build a tiny lifter one day, it's a much easier tiny lifter build. Because it's, or if you plan on putting it on 2S someday, I should say, the BLV3 is, I can't get the BLV4 to work right on 2S. It acts very, very weird. So, yeah. But if you're never going to run it on 2S, the BLV4 is awesome. Denzo the Terrible with the last comment on the live stream, he says, maybe do a sketch of that battery holder thing. Maybe we can print and model you something in TPU. TPU would be way too heavy. The reason why this thing is so awesome is that it's made of foam, so it doesn't weigh anything. I mean, just having this one, it's fine. I can just move this one back and forth. But if somebody has one of these floating around, it'd be awesome. But yeah, TPU would be way too heavy. That would be like 2 or 3 grams at least made out of TPU, unfortunately. Thank you for hanging, friends. My name is Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Head over to CiottiFPV.com to support me. I'm completely crowdfunded. You beautiful people are the only reason that I'm sitting here today. For a couple of bucks a month, you can help me out, and I'll keep doing this forevers. Be good, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. I don't know what I do now. Is this the point now where I go away? All right, I'll go away. But first, here is the other 75mm rig bouncing around a jungle gym. Be good. I'll see you guys Friday. Bye-bye.